freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. First, all rise, giving perfect and infinite praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to all prophets, divine and minor prophets as not mentioned. Honors to the divine prophets Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, the prophet Noble Drew Ali returned, 5 times stronger, 5th prophet. Honors to his harbinger, the John the Baptist returned to us in the modern day, for the Marcus Messiah, Garvey Bay, the founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association in 1914. Honors to the past leaders of the UNIA. Honors to the leaders of the Warrior Science of America, Brother Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius returned, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to past, present, and future leadership. Today's show is called You Believe. Whew, man. It's going to be a hot one today. So, I'm going to make this really simple for y'all to understand. You choose to be subservient to the teachings you were taught, to believe something that you think perhaps is truth, which has no basis or foundation of truth whatsoever. You look in the mirror every day. Look at your hair, look at your face, look at your eyes. You're critiquing yourself. You see if there's any imperfections. But the only imperfection you don't see is that what you call yourself is what you are not. And I'm saying that because there is no white people, white skin, yellow people, yellow skin, black people, black skin. No, none of these titles exist. It's all an illusion. You're facing a narrative and calling things what it seems to be, but what it is not. Excuse me. When you consume things that does not fit your aura or your energy, you tend to act things out based upon the characteristics thereof. When you calling yourself a Negro or black or colored or anything that's dealing with self-hatred or self-reverse racism, you begin to lose the sight of your true national origin. But you were told that you came from Africa on the slave ships. The word slave came from the word Slav, Slavic, which is Europe. So you came from Europe? No. The founding fathers of America are not the founding fathers of America. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what your school teacher taught you. Your school teacher is teaching you to lie and give them, the European so-called white people, the power and the glory when they're not even white to begin with. What is so pure about them? Because they have that good, wavy, kinky hair, so to speak. It's blonde hair. And they got those blue eyes, some of them green eyes, some of them brown eyes. You know what I mean? They have that so-called white skin that's so pure. What white means free of blemish. So they can't have white skin because they're not even close to being white. And now if you're talking about the state of mind of a group of people, then we can see where they don't even fit the description. Because over 90% of your so-called white people or Caucasian people are straight evil. A lot of them are your Ku Klux Klan. A lot of them are your Eastern Stars and Masons. A a lot of them formulate that black boule, and a lot of them are your Jewish synagogues of Satan. They all working together. While the so-called black people are still trying to find their way through life, but still having a hard time making it. Because they want part of what the so-called white man is part of. You have no idea what you get yourself into. You have no idea what you get yourself into when you sign up for these Masonic orders, these brotherhood organizations, all these things that's related to hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. You have no idea what you got yourself into. You think you know, but you don't know. See, it's one thing is to fit the narrative of what's really going on. And fitting the narrative is you fake it until you make it. You are taking upon things that doesn't belong to you. Just like Jesus said in the Bible, render on to Caesar, which is his. The word render means to give back. And render unto God, which is his, to give back to God what is his. Allah. Dio Santo. Allah, which is in Aramaic, in Arabic. See, I have to constantly be redundant because not every new subscriber is going to watch all the shows. So I have to do as the Prophet Abu Ali said, I will repeat myself. Because since they use the Masons and Jewish Boule, Masonic order and fraternities, use the hammer and pound it is until it's part of every part. So when you see that they use the tools to worship of the mind, they're pounding in the falsehood to make it part of every part of your intellect. Now, we can sit here and lie to each other. We can sit here and deceive each other. We can sit here and follow this narrative that has no truth to it. And the truth ain't in you, and your father's of the devil. You so-called white people. You so-called black people. Because guess what? You're the one who's following the narrative of what you think perhaps is. So you can sit here and go and do as you please. Do what you like. Just like Humpty Hump say from Digital Underground, do what you like. When you're drinking all that Gatorade, Haterade, you don't even know what you're consuming. You're consuming things that has no truth. You're consuming things that has no basis of truth whatsoever. And when you consume these things, you go and spread it to other people, and the more lies you spread, the more friends you have. The more truth you speak, the less friends you have. The smaller your circle gets, but the more falsehood you speak, the bigger your circle gets. But you gotta watch out for the scavengers. You gotta watch out for the snakes in the grass, the scorpions. You gotta watch out for them ones. You gotta watch out for the deceivers and the manipulators. Because you don't know who they are. They can appear to be your best friend and tell you all what you want to hear. But they all have a chance to try to stab you in the back. They see your good heart, they see your good words, but yet still, they're here to manipulate and deceive. Just like it says in the Bible, it says, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So since the Bible teaches us that the devil, which is you, which is your lower self, coming to kill, steal, and destroy, roaming to and fro the earth, seeking whom it may devour, then you are caught up in things that has no basis of truth. Or you just have some truth to it, but it's being tainted with this type of so-called tainted love. Where you can read scriptures in the Bible when it doesn't make any sense because two of the opposite vibrations can't meet each other. If it meets each other, it's going to cause a fire, it's going to cause a problem. You can't bring negative and positive together. It's not going to work. Because one is going to be osmosis. One's going to leave and one's going to stay. The truth abides and falsehood goes down. What is man? That's what man is. The truth abides, which means stay, and falsehood goes down, which means it leaves. So that means whatever so-called is in the dark is going to come into the light? I think not. What is in the light, when you hit that light switch, it is dark. Darkness vanishes. So how is dark going to come into the light? Your brother Man Moore's life is getting fiery today because I'm telling the truth. And the truth shall make you free. I'm not here to mislead or deceive anybody called the so-called light-skinned, olive-hued, melanated brothers and sisters who are beautiful in hearts and minds, saying that they're black. If the Nation of Islam is going to tell you you're black, I'm going to tell them they're wrong. I'm going to tell them that the 5%ers and every last one of them, they're wrong. Because there is no truth behind it. Tell me, name one black person in history who's actually the color of black, or who carries the same characteristics of the word black and still living to this day. How many people you know who eat what the beast eats and still living to this day, and give you all this fen and all this pharmaceutical medicine, this European Babylon medicine, to tear you up on the inside and wonder why your immune system is weak because you're consuming all these wrong foods, and then they give you this medicine, this so-called remedy, so-called healing factor, or so-called treatment that's going to treat you, but then again it's going to harm you at the same time, because now you suffer the repercussions of these things that don't serve you no purpose. You're probably saying, Brother Morris, like, what are you talking about? What I'm saying is, it's called side effects. There's a side effect to everything you do. The side effect can be turn out good when you consume these good foods that Allah told you to eat. There's a side effect, the bad thing, when you eat the foods that Allah told you not to eat. But Allah gave you free will, just like Allah gave Lucifer free will. You don't have to harmonize with the devils, but you can't sit amongst the table with them. You have to take into consideration that you cannot serve two masters, because the same two masters you are in battle with yourself, and the person you must redeem is your lower self. Your lower self is one that's roaming to the earth, seeking whom man may devour. There's no one pointing a gun to your head saying you must do this, you must do that. No, Lucifer is giving you a choice. Well, I gave you a choice. Allah does not force you to worship Him. Lucifer doesn't give you a choice to worship Him. It's just the idea. When man's idea is just God. When you start seeking ye first the kingdom of Allah and His righteousness in your mind, your higher self, these things will be added on to you. Now you can use the hammer to drive home the truth, so it's part of every part. When you understand these conditions and understand situations, then you can understand where your mind's at and how long can you handle the situation. Whether you want to learn to love instead of hate, or whether you want to go beyond yourself and try to fix this remedy or this issue or whatever the case may be. You got to figure out where you stand in life. Who do you stand with? Are you with the devil? Are you married to the devil? Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast? Or are you married to Allah? Heart and mind. See, these things you got to think about, family, on a daily. Right? So you gotta really sit down and do some thinking, man. You really do. Because without thinking, you're just like a zombie. You're like a nematode from SpongeBob. The leaders say, you follow. You gotta really start thinking though, for real. Without thinking, You'd be led on astray and you just reacted on impulse. You young brothers out there who are gangbanging are being the son of Herod. Your sisters out there are being the daughter of Jezebel. That's what you're doing. We gotta call things what it is. Tell like it is. Not what it seems to be. Tell like it is. When you understand conditions, then you understand where things are going. Because right now, it's all about truth, family. It's all about what you decide. It's all about what you want to do, what your choices are. Now the problem is, these children are acting crazy because their mothers and fathers are not being guided properly themselves. Or they just went astray, or they just choose to live a reckless lifestyle, because all I see is recklessness. Better yourself and better your condition. You got to go through some things to get that good old lifestyle, an old-fashioned lifestyle. Which it takes up to you to decide whether you're going to take a point or not. You know, you got to really want it for yourself. Asking, you shall receive, but be careful what you ask for. Careful what you wish for, because the sin lies within the wish. You gotta be really careful with that. Right now, I'm just living. I'm working hard daily. It's all about bettering and conditioning, nothing else. See, when you have these things that are the best benefit for yourself, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, you see that light, follow it. But you gotta be careful what, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful with vibrations you take upon. You gotta be careful what you listen to. You gotta be careful what you give your children to listen to as well. You can't have them be listening to all this crappy music. You can't have them being indoctrinated by school and their peers and the thing that's going on and the biases and the cares of the world. What you're doing is you're putting your children on the hypnosis and don't have no idea. You think you know, but you don't know. Because you're an adult doesn't mean you know everything. Heck, even me, I'm still a student myself, even though I'm a teacher. The best students become the best teachers. But the wise doubt it often. But yet still, they don't see what I see. As my brother saying, you don't see what I see. You don't hear what I hear. You don't see what I see. My vision is my vision. Or what I hear, what the next man or next brother, sister, or child may not hear. Some of us have different goals, but we all meet through the same path to a certain degree. Some of us are not on the same path. Yeah, I know. Your brother man Moore's life supposed to be in the temple right now, but yeah, I'll be back. That's a guarantee. But you know what though? My thing is this. As a Moorish leader, I'm gonna tell y'all something about being a Moorish leader. Sometimes the cares of the world can get you all swarmed up with all these degrees of mediocrity, all these allurements and constant, unhappiness of life and liberty and all this other stuff. And you really have to be very, very careful of what it is that you take upon and what you take upon yourself. You, at this day and time, family, if you only make it $20-something an hour, you have to decide, are you gonna get you a new car and then you gotta pay over $2,000 in rent, and you don't make enough, then you gotta turn around and pay utilities? It's not logical. Then you gotta work 3 jobs? That's not logical. There's no point in getting a new car. Or a new ride, a new whip, as you say. There's no point. Might as well just get you something used, fix it up. Whatever the problem may be, fix it up. Put some money to the side, fix it up. All you have to worry about is monthly insurance. Make sure you save enough money to the side, plus pay the insurance up. You all right, you good, no problem. All is well. Well, you know what they say, all is well ends well. There is no such thing as bad days. Know why there's no such thing as a bad day? Because day represents light, and light represents the truth. So there is no bad truth. There's no bad day. These are things that you have to constantly think about. Everything that you're hearing is things that's not meant for the ears to hear. You're still like a child at heart because you are paying attention to folly and mediocrity. That same folly and mediocrity is the one that's leading you astray from the truth itself. And I'm going to be the one to tell you the truth. Yeah, I slipped down some 60-ounce cans of soda because I was trying to stay awake. I ain't going to lie to you. Your brother Man Moore should I be slamming down them sliced lemon cucumber mint water? Yes, of course I do. You know why? Because I want my liver to be cleansed. I want my system out here. Man, this is like being out here in the summertime is like being inside of a sauna. You're constantly sweating. And why you're sweating, children? Because you have so many impurities in your system. If you are think of mine, look at your teeth, look at your feet. If you got corrosion, should I say, fungus in your feet, and you got fungus in your teeth, you got issues. You got parasites. You got a double chin, you got a big stomach, you got parasites. You're a walking parasite. You are what you eat. You are what you think. It's called effects what it is. I don't give a what anybody tell me. I don't give a what the preacher man gotta say. I don't give a if the preacher man worships God, he eats swine. I do not care, because he is not following law. But through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery. Due to the fact that we are not the created principles of our forefathers, and we are strayed after the gods of Europe, who we knew nothing of, the mark of the beast. That's who it is. The people of the Caucasus Mountains, the Europeans, them ones, the ones who are not just, the ones who will eat the swine in a heartbeat and tell you they're vegan on the side, the ones who do people sacrifices for the Most High, and then they're over here worshiping the devil. And the truth ain't in them. Lucifer is their father. You gotta be very careful with beauty, y'all. Because beauty can really entrap y'all and get y'all unalive, as they say, killed or dead. See, these are things that has to be told, because there's the elders, they ain't talking to the young people about this information because they ain't drinking all the hayrade. Right? So, with that being said, I have no choice but to tell you the truth, but to bring the truth to you. See, what you have to understand that the Europeans are descendants of, in the Bible, of Esau. The Edomites, the homosexuals, the ones who take Most High's words and twist it around. They're always doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. Whatever makes sense to them, it feels good to them because they have sadistic behavior. Now you fast forward to the people who are slaves in their own nation, who are the true founding fathers of their own nation. And we're not talking about George Washington. No, we're not talking about them. There's a movie called Young Washington. Matter of fact, and this young man, European, Edomite, Esau, right? He has a British flag. He ain't American. He's British. So how is the British European going to be the founding father of this country? Okay, the Declaration of Independence was signed. Okay. All right, who are they declaring their freedom from? Britain. See, there's always another side to the story. The problem is, he's going to tell you the other side. Don't keep it real. Because the truth ain't in them. They said they're poor, but they are rich. They're poor, but they are not, but they are rich. And their synagogues is Satan. I'm telling the truth like it is. You gotta tell the truth like it is. You got to. Because if you don't tell the truth like it is, who's gonna help you? You call for help, but ain't nothing coming. You call for Satan to be your God to help you, give you all these blessings and all these things in the world, but whoever blessed with all these things in the world losing their soul. Well, you can't lose your soul if you're soulless. We are gonna keep it real. Brother Man Moore's Life always gonna keep it real. As I comb my hair, as I making sure my crown is divine. Islam. But I'm going to be doing a show on Michael Jackson. I don't know what I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on my live feed. That's what I'm going to do. But I need y'all to understand, this is just based upon information that Allah has blessed me with. And the truth will come out. So, I just want y'all to know, yes, I did see the Michael Jackson movie. Michael, I saw it. There's some truth to it. But DC never really happened in a sequence as it has in the movie. But there are certain things that we all can concur with and, things of that nature. Yes, we can. See, I'm not the one to live my lifestyle based upon how someone else lives their lifestyle. I'm just a peaceful brother. I'm your brother, Man Moore's Life. I just live the life of peace. And no matter what I do, and no matter how well I treat people with kindness and look out for the people, I still get trampled on. I still get disrespected. But I accept that. But your brother, Man Moore's Life, came up with this philosophy. I was born to be loved and hated. If I can accept that, I can accept life. And if you cannot accept that, you cannot accept life. If you can't accept that, you can accept life. Accept it. It is what it is. We all gotta fit along where we get along. We got to. We got to. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's all about perception. It's all about what you accept and what you reject or don't accept. You can accept it like a credit card or decline it like a credit card. Take your pick. You can get with this or you can get with that. See, there's always duality. these particular crazy Europeans came up with this idea of Trinity. And they can't even prove it themselves, and they over here talking about it. Pope of Rome agrees with it, with the Nicene Council. They agree with it, but they can't prove it. They cannot prove it, family. Where is their divine proof that you can prove to me that there's a God in the sky? Right? Prove to me there's a God in the sky. But this is what this was they fit the narrative of, that their people are the better people than the dark-skinned people. That Jesus is actually Caucasian, according to their vision. But they're finally coming out and saying, oh, you know, Jesus was actually a black man. No, he wasn't a black man. Black, according to science, means death. You know, when you get angry and get irate and you about ready to beat the crap out of somebody, you black out, yeah, you about to kill somebody. You're seeing darkness. You have internal vision. You're about to murder somebody. I'm telling the truth, family. You can sit here and dictate to me all you want, and yap, and yada yada, and this, Moore's life this and Moore's life that. Well, you know what? I don't give a what you have to say about me or what information I give you. I'm giving you the truth. You can accept this falsehood because you don't have the light. You don't have the truth. In order to be the truth, you have to accept the truth. In order to accept the truth, you have to admit that you're wrong. You have to grow up and eat a red Mario mushroom, green Mario mushroom, and mushroom man, and grow up and get a life. You cannot be a child and then try to accept truth, but you have a temper tantrums as an adult. It's either you a child or you an adult. Either you're gonna man up or you're gonna boy down. You're gonna woman up, you're gonna girl down. Take your pick. You can't even have both. You can't have someone else's cake and yours and eat it too. It's called coveting. You can have your cake and eat it too because it's your cake. But you can't have someone else's cake and eat it too. It may sound funny, but I'm telling the truth. I'm being real. Why would I want someone else's cake? I'm gonna go take their cake. That's coveting. That's stealing. That goes against the 10 Commandments. Well, you try to tell these rich folks, these Rothschild Rockefellers about the 10 Commandments. Yeah, they honor it. They rather go against it, but they tell you not to do it. When self-defense come into play, they tell you not to do it. You don't get locked up. Well, what about all the killing they done? What about the lives they massacred? What about the raping and pillaging they done? Oh, but they can't be held accountable for that? Oh, okay, I see now. But you are 10 Commandments, but you don't follow it, but you're expecting the peasants of the United Snakes Corporation to follow it, right? Let's call the facts what it is. I don't give a what they have to say, because their empire is about to be dethroned because Rockefeller and Rothschild are all Masons and part of the Jewish community. In secrecy, they eat poop and drink urine. They rather eat people's flesh and put it in your hamburger at McDonald's. Rabbi Finkelstein said that to a European Christian man. But yet still you rather eat the burger. People over here walking around on fin. Have no knowledge what they're getting themselves into. They think they know, but they don't know. They really don't know. But until you understand the way things is going on behind closed doors, things that are being revealed, the more you study to show thyself approved, the more blessings and information you're going to receive, like Solomon of your ancient forefather. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Because, see, in order to accept the truth, you got to filter. You got to be, when you're making coffee, you got to filter out all the stuff that's not going to be used. And throw it away. That falsehood. And the rest of the stuff that's in the coffee, from the coffee bean, that's liquefied, you gotta take that. Your cup can't always be runneth over. Because if you runneth over your cup, right? You cannot accept information. You constantly being flooded with information, but you don't even know where to start, or know where to end, or know where to begin, or know where to put it in the middle. You have no filter based upon your lifestyle. This is why you have to live your lifestyle like a coffee filter. This is why you have to live your lifestyle with a quarter amount of water in a cup. You gotta take some out, you gotta leave some. This is how you receive information. This is how ones become wise. Because they take out the stuff that's a nonsense. It is what it is. I'm going to call the facts what it is. You can sit here and say I'm lying all you want, but I'm using all these type of examples to show you what it takes to become wise. Because you have to, number one, in order to become wise, number one, you got to listen. If you don't know, ask. If you know you're going to be deceived, one, you already know where you're sharing with people. Number two, you got to know who your friends are. Number three, you can probably count on one hand, two hands, and maybe have a few fingers left over about how many friends you have, or maybe one hand, depending on the situation. Right? Now the question is, what are you going to do with the information you have? You can take it, run with it, hide it, or you going to go out there and feed the people? That is a question. Right? Can't sit here and back up over the oppressor based upon their narrative of their way of thinking, because their thinking is not all as well. We gotta tell the truth. That's what it's truly about. Whether you accept it or not, family, these are things that we all have to face on a consistent basis. We have to. Because there is no other way. The truth can be right there in front of you. It's just like a snake who bit you. You don't even see it. Now I got something to say to all those people out there. Here comes Miss Sister. Yeah, all men are dogs. Yeah, well, I know a dog is loyal, but a man will never be a four-legged beast. So it's like saying that all men are dogs. It's like saying all trees grow fruits, right? Oh, I'm going there today. I am truly going there today. So you can sit here and say that all women are B-I-T-C-H's or whatever, bitches or whatever. Excuse my language, but a dog is loyal. But you accept the mark of the beast, though. You've been accepting the beast. You accept their contracts. You accepted their contracts, family. It is what it is. Whether you know it, whether you accept it or not, whether you care to receive it, whether you care to dish it out, whether you choose to have the false narrative, whatever the case may be. We all gotta do something right. We all gotta chase what's the truth. Instead of chasing luxury and falsehood. I'm calling it what it is, brothers and sisters. I love my people. But sometimes you gotta love people from a distance. Because you see the folly. You see dysfunctionalism. You see these things that will do anything that is hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, stuff, and everything that harms. You'll see it. But you won't move forward. You won't even leave them alone. You see toxic amongst the person you're with, but you won't leave them alone because you're so much involved in their ideas and lust. They have bamboozled you because now you are not in love with them. You're in lust with them. Lust. For the lust of money is the root to all evil. Lust will make you do evil, not love. Love is exalted. Let's call it what it is. Let's be real honest with ourselves. You can't be in lust and be in love at the same time. It's two different vibrations. Operate on two different energies. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. Call it what it is, tell it like it is. That's what I say. Tell it like it is. That's what my grandmother be saying. Also, my grandmothers. Praise Allah for them. Like, for real, for real. But I'm only going to be in the show for about another few moments with y'all. I'm going to be with y'all for an hour. I need to give y'all my time. Because, if anything, y'all need this information. Definitely and indubitably. Indubitably. I said it. Because it is what it truly is. I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta constantly work. I gotta be the one in this hot sun working. Being all about the work, not about the twerk. It may sound funny to you, but I'm being honest. But you all gotta be careful around here because guess what? These people are reckless drivers. They're caught up in their lower self vibration. These ones you gotta be. If you have to drive like grandma or grandpa, by all means do so. Just to save yourself. If you don't feel like driving, pull over. We all gotta think sometimes. We all gotta do some thinking. Now, I got some ideas based upon what I know. I'm fully happy based upon the information I receive and the people I'm blessed to be around. And I embrace love, definitely, 100%. I love it when people clown me too. I think it's very funny. I love it. I really love it, honestly. Yes, I do. I'll play something for y'all right quick. Islam. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is a pre-recorded with your brother Man Moore's life. And I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. All the information I've been spitting, and they blocked my little content because they didn't want to hear the truth. And the truth, what I was saying, that they're all connected. You can't pull the wool over someone's eyes who already beat the game. Like I said, there's one group, one organization, and they all seem like they're separated. And I'm going to tell the truth. The Jewish community is working alongside the Masons and Eastern Stones. They're all performing the same ritual, whether you know it or whether you like it or not. The Bible teaches us you cannot serve two masters. You'll love one, hate the other. But I'm just going to be real honest with you. Take you straight from the hip. The Black Bull Leg. Because my previous show, Surveillance to Separation, was just talking about what I'm speaking on right now. And they cut it off. Because they didn't want the little ears and they didn't want the young adults to hear the truth. But, anywho, I never go on a platform of YouTube just to get rich or die trying. I just go because I want the people to have the information I have who have like minds like myself. Nevertheless, I'm not doing it for celebrity status and
That's why I don't show my face, because of those reasons. If you gonna keep broadcasting yourself, that's on you. But you gotta remain circumspect, because every celebrity is gonna get the attention, and certain attention you're gonna get with a celebrity lifestyle is imprisonment of your fame and fortune that has been granted to you, and you think you have control and power, and you don't. People are dying left and right. Mothers are motherless, and fathers are fatherless in state of mind. And I guess I am not going to continue the separation um, and surveillance, or surveillance and separation, whichever comes first. I'm going to do something where it has to be based on the actual facts. But I say this to y'all because I love y'all. And there's no other point in my life but to expose the truth. I might have some people who are going to be drinking all the haterade instead of drinking all the lemonade, because they're about hate instead of love. They let them do as they must. But they're not going to bring it to me, though. That's one thing they're not going to do. They're all part of the boule, the Black Crusades, and all them ones. All them ones who are part of this fraternity and sorority. They're the ones who's hiding the truth from the people. If the Black Boule was to look out for every black person, so-called, and tell the truth, we would not be considered black people no more. Because the truth shall make you free. And there's nothing else that's better than that. But you gotta have the love for yourself and to want to better your condition and better your state of mind. I can care less what the thoughtless think. They can fire burn all I care. They can't accept things that's not facts. And they're going to continue to be a devil worshiper because their minds have already been conditioned. And they are already being entrapped. So at the end of the day, it's more about what are you doing to better your condition. That's everything I was saying, but they blocked me. They only shortened my show for 6 minutes. But for all those who were listening, I was surprised. I had 10 people watching the show. And this is for me to camel back on basically on what I see. So I dare them try to block me. I dare these devil worshippers try to block me. Because every last one of these ones are part of the same organization. There's no justice in this. There's no justice in being a black person. And that's going to be something they keep promoting like it's a disease, like you putting a Band-Aid over something that has no significance of truth, nor you don't have the roots to be able to trace yourself back to the origin of who your true forefathers and mothers truly are. And that's the issue, and that's the problem. You cannot grow without learning from the condition of your ancestors and how you going to grow and how you going to change it. You got to be the one to change your condition. There's already brothers and sisters in the motorcycles of America who already proclaiming nationality. That's the first thing. Emancipate to proclamate. You have to do the emancipation, which means remove yourself from the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Get out of her. When they say get out of the United States, they're not talking about nothing physical. Physical remove. We're talking about contracts. And this is something they have already entrapped you in, but you ain't hearing me. You don't want that. Of course you don't want it because you accept the condition of being black. You want that caveman European psychology. But we started thinking like the colonists, and Noble Drew Ali started dropping it. So you listen to all this crazy so-called hip-hop music. You eating all this crazy food that's full of chemicals and death and mercury and all the stuff that is poisonous to you, that's damaging your heart and mind, and you can't even think straight, got your hormones out of whack, because you wacky cracky, but you don't even know nothing about the tic-tac-toe, and guess what, you getting crossed up and don't even know it. You got people who over here being speed demons and don't even realize the game. Don't even realize the gas prices are getting higher, but they got them a muscle car. Do you realize that you're spending more time with that muscle ride than your own livelihood and try to better your condition? You don't want to better your condition because you want to expand and think that you have the kind of money that you have, but yet still you are suffering and you have no idea of what's going on. You think you know, but you don't know. You wish you knew, but you don't know. My people going to perish for a lack of knowledge. And since they blocked me, I'm coming 10 times relentless. I'm coming 10 times stronger, regardless of what the naysayers have to say. So you guys are going to be the ones who's going to be entrapped with your own personal philosophies and your own personal teachings. And while me, I'm going to be all is truly well. So time will tell when you try to turn over a new leaf. There's nothing good about you because you don't want the goodness in your life. You don't even want to better your condition because you're not even trying to. So I'm giving this brief synopsis of what was left said on the show. But to all my viewers out there, peace and love, you know. But only you can better your condition. There ain't gonna be no blonde hair, blue-eyed, long hair person claiming to be the Messiah coming out the sky to save you. The Prophet Noble Drew already said it best. If I can't save you, then no one can. But if I can get you to think, you can save yourself. And that's what it's all about, is thinking. And people who want to drive in all these fancy rides and stuff, thinking they got the life, and all you do is putting yourself in more debt. You already in debt with society, but you paying a debt currency with a bill, a dollar bill that already has a bill. So how you gonna pay a bill with a bill? How you gonna be part of 2 continents? How you gonna be a crayon color? How you gonna be all these things that's not even accurate? That's something for y'all to think about. Peace and love, Islam. Islam, 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 Islam.
Yeah, brothers and sisters, the truth shall make you free. So the truth shall make you free. The falsehood shall keep you in bondage and slavery. But you only be the one to make a choice. And I'm just being real honest. Some people love the honesty, some people don't. Some people like the darkness, but they don't love the light. You know, sometimes we tend to live our life based upon what we see and what the tell-eye vision tell us, but it's telling our vision what we should be, and what we are not doing is not thinking. It is what it is. I'm truly gonna call it is what it is, but so it's all up to you what you decide to do. So give me a moment, family.